Hi guys, Sifu Tarbell here, back at Wuxia Martial Arts, and today we'll be doing our Wing Tsun video. Just a quick supplemental thing. We'll be doing some weekly things for you guys that you can practice at home. So today we'll be taking a look at Wing Tsun punching methodology for strength and conditioning. So in Wing Tsun, oftentimes what you see, oftentimes what you'll see in Wing Tsun, one thing that is very good about Wing Tsun offensively is blitzing pressure. So being able to go forward on the center line and attack very quickly with chain punches and other various strikes to vital targets and stuff like that to incapacitate somebody. But one thing that really drives me nuts is when I see some of these videos and it's like 1,000 punches in 12 seconds. And these guys, they're very skilled, they're very talented, but the punches don't have a lot of steam on them. They don't have a lot of power on them. So oftentimes the mistake is to think that you're going to go forward and you're going to blitz this guy with Wing Tsun chain punches, the Lin Wang Kun, and you're going to unload like 50 punches on this guy's face or something like that, and then the fight will be over. But the reality is I came from a karate mentality growing up and boxing mentality, and oftentimes that's not the way it works. The beauty of Wing Tsun is that you're not trying to overwhelm somebody with a massive amount of strikes in terms of quantity. The idea is that you're trying to really land some good, clean, hard shots, the same way in boxing and karate and Muay Thai and these things, and you're trying to land some shots that will knock the guy out. So, Grandmaster Longting used to have this saying, he said, how are you going to fight a metal fan? Right, so if the fan is going on high and like you took the front cover off, don't do this at home. And you had the steel blades going on. He's like, how are you gonna like fight with that? How are you gonna shut it off? Are you gonna try to stick your hand in there and shut it off? And he's like, no, of course you would just unplug it. So the same principle applies to fighting with Wing Tsun. Is that, you don't want to try and go in there and like throw 1,000 punches that have like maybe less power as they would as if you went in and you just try to knock the guy out with the first few punches. So with that said, a couple of things we can think about today is if you have a heavy bag, always a great tool. Here at Wuxia we have 3 of these heavy bags, and they're 100 pounds each, and they're good, they're heavy, and they develop some really nice power. So we have the wall bags as well, which helps to develop a short range power. But the heavy bags are nice because you can work with these and you can start to develop some power and strengthen your extensor muscles here, and being able to also like feel where the pressure of the bag is. So if you don't have a heavy bag at home, you can still apply a lot of these drills to the air. And you won't get the same feeling of 100 pounds coming back at you or anything like that and giving you the pressure of your punch. But nonetheless, what it will do is it'll train your punching methodology for like shadow boxing like that. And those of you who know me know that last month and a little bit this month, I've been doing 3 5-minute rounds of Wing Tsun shadow boxing. So whatever your level is, if it's Sun Tao and Chum Q level, using all of the different techniques that you have. If you're a Buji person, being able to use some of the Buji stuff that you have. If you're wooden dummy, being able to use these things, but just moving around and working on your shadow boxing and connecting those things so they become natural. So let's take a look. So one of the first rules that I like to have the students do on the heavy bag is that I'll have them put 1 foot forward, right? And then with the same side, I have them extend the bag just a little bit like that. And you can see from here that the bag is at a slanted angle. So it's not here where I'm just going to hit the bag and it doesn't really move around, or I hit it and then it starts flopping all around. In Wing Tsun, we want to maintain constant pressure. So I'm going to keep this forward just like that. And then my goal is that every time I hit, I'm hitting on the center line, just like that, and leaving this bag where it should be, right, in the center. So here, you can see every time that I'm trying to keep this here, just like that. So it maintains some pressure coming back into me, and then also pressure as I'm going forward. Now, when I'm doing this, I try to close my hand and keep it relatively loose, but I don't want to clench and have my fist too tight, right? So I want to keep this loose, like we say, grain of sand. If you picked up a bunch of sand, it should still be able to pour out, right? But then you can still hit and have some power, and then the knuckles can move around a little bit, okay? So that's our first trick. So I suggest at home, right, that if you were doing this to the air, that you just put 1 foot forward like that, and then you just practice just good, hard punches like that. So don't worry about speed and doing all this stuff. See if you can focus on good quality, the elbow being low, right? Sinking the lats just like this, and then and feel it like that, and sinking the body. just like that. So you don't have to go too high, you don't have to go too low. Just work about, you know, your nose height. So boom, 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 just like that. So this is our first drill, right? So if you have the heavy bag at home, just start, get your punch going, a little bit of an angle on that. And you can see wherever it starts to go, if it's going like side to side, then I just kind of follow a little bit. But I'm trying to always maintain that I'm keeping that pressure forward. Right? So when punching with the Wing Tsun, the Wing Wang Kun, first lesson is always to make sure that your pressure is forward like that. That way you don't get these kind of crappy patty cake. Those are just going to make somebody mad, and you're going to end up getting your ass kicked. So first thing, make sure you have good, hard, strong chain punches like that. Okay, the second thing that we take a look at is we talk about different types of punching. So I can go high, 1, 2, and then I can lower this, and I go low like that, and then I come back up, 1, 2, I lower it, and then 3, just like that. From the side, I go high, high, and then I punch low, like that. Every time I do that, I'm keeping this fist facing forward, just like that. So 1, 2, I lower it and punch right over the arm, and then this one retracts back, and then I come up. Now, when I'm doing this, I use a little bit of my chest as well. So you can see here, I go chest up, 1, 2, and then boom. So I don't bow too much, but boom, boom, but the spine has a little bit to it. So 1, 2, 1, 2, boom, just like that, yeah? So this one, I don't have to start with it out like that. I just want to have the pressure. So, and you can do this from character 2, right? So if you're here, just like that, you can set up your character 2 stance and practice it from character 2, or you can put 1 foot forward and work it like that. So today, right, because I got my friend here, right, what I'm going to do is practice with 1 foot forward. Right? So it's a little bit more realistic, yeah? So from here, we start nice and high, just like that. Right, and I go 1, 2, 3. Now you can see in the beginning that I go 1, 2, 3. Same thing, trying to keep it in the middle, right? But later on, the rhythm changes. The first 2 should be like, bah. So instead of having this be, right, it becomes 1, 2. It's almost like one sound. So you can practice that. So in Wing Tsun, we have the same. We attack the heavily guarded area. We avoid the heavily guarded area, and we attack the unguarded area. So if I'm here and I'm punching straight and they shield up or peekaboo or something like that, like they're hiding in there, then we go boom, just like that and hit low. And of course, when they drop the hands, we come right back up. So a little punching strategy, especially for the Wing Tsun, for Sanshao, right here, Wuxia. When we put on and we start to mix it up under the Sanshao realm, the free hand, little kickboxing and stuff, sparring. That strategy is a great strategy for y'all to think about. Attacking high, punching low, and then coming right back up. And we have that at the end of our Chun Q, if you think about it, right? When we go here and we come up, we go underneath, and then we sink, like that. So the idea of going up, sinking, coming right in again, it starts to teach us how we can change the level of our punch, how we can be sneaky with the punch, sink on their arms, and just like that, and deliver. All right, so the last thing we take a look at for today, and the first part of our punching methodology, is if I can attack low, then I can also attack high, right? So if I'm here, right, and I go low, low, then I come up here, just like that. So I go 1, 2, 3, right away. 1, 2, 3, and I change sides every time. 1, 2, and the spine comes up. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, so we take a look at that in the bag. So same thing, I could go from character 2, or I can just start here with 1 foot forward. And I start low, all right, on the abdomen or solar plex level, and I go 1, 2. Same thing, so it starts out 1, 2, 3, and then right away, right away. Yeah, so that's the idea, right? Attack, and then come on. So when I attack low, right, and they drop their hands or they try to block low or something, then we punch right on top. Remember, whenever we punch, the elbow is low. So if I can sink onto their arm and trap their arm while I'm hitting at the same time, is always the best. We call gate trapping, right? So if you can get in, boom, boom, and get on top of their arms, then like that. All right, so your homework is this. You have the bag, work it. If you don't, all right, start with this, either character 2 or 1 foot forward, punching, boom, power, right? Big power, just like that. Don't worry about speed. Speed comes later, yeah. Power first, boom. Drill number 2, punch high, 1, 2, punch low, boom, and come right back, like that. Punch low, boom, punch high, all right? If you start to get a little speed, all right, that's okay. All right, make sure your form is clean. And then the third one is I punch low, low, and high. Low, high, just like that. 1, 2, 3. All right. Yeah, always forward pressure. Always make sure that you're training hard. And then once you can do it slow and you have good form, then the next thing is to put some time on it. Right. So I like to do 5-minute rounds. Like I said, I'm a big fan of of boxing and in the UFC and mixed martial arts and those things. But I find a 3-minute round is a good, but it's a little too easy, you know? Yeah, Wing Tsun is like a mixed martial arts for the street, you know? All 5 ranges, punching, kicking, elbow, knee, taking people down, all that stuff on the ground, defense and attack on the ground. So the way you train your Wing Tsun has to be more like MMA time. So the rounds are 5 minutes each, okay? And you have to pace yourself. All right, but get a good breathing, sweat a little bit, is good for you. All right, try to start out maybe like 1 5-minute round, all right, every day. See if you can work on that a little bit. And then when you can, you progress to 3 5-minute rounds, okay? If you can get to 3 5-minute rounds, then you've contended, okay? Then the next month you try 5 5-minute rounds. If you can do that, now you're starting to work your Wing Tsun on a champion level status, okay? So remember, power, boom, 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 all right? Always trumps the speed. All right, in the beginning. Later on, the speed is going to be important, of course, yeah, but in the beginning, you have to be able to use this, give somebody some serious power to these vital targets, knock them out, all right, and end the fight quickly, yeah, because we're normal people, average citizens. We don't want to be going around, right, and trying to, when you have to defend yourself, you don't want to have to fight for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes going crazy. You want to be able to end it if you have to fight. Right? It's the worst case scenario, but if you have to fight, you want to end it quick. You don't want to be rolling around and, you know, sparring for all this time, messing around all this time, okay? End it quick. So train your strength, train your conditioning, make your Wing Tsun punch strong, and no patty cake. This is Sifu's got Tarbell, Wuxia martial arts, here names very mass. This is your punching week video of the week. All right, train hard, my friends.